YouTube?
Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is boy Jamar here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar here once again. Now I know I haven't done Love and Hip Hop Hollywood in about 3 weeks. And it's really because I haven't seen the episodes. Truth be told, I just haven't. I don't know why, but I've just not been pressed to watch Love and Hip Hop lately. No particular reason, but last night I just decided to catch up on the past couple weeks that I hadn't watched it, and then I just watched last night's episode, the new one that just came on last night, called The Leak. And yeah, so we got some things to talk about, because I just know there was a whole lot of "it couldn't have been me" moments that have transpired since I've been away. So we started with the episode where last week, Jason or Brandy, or who was it that initially found this? I think it was Princess. I can't remember who was it initially discovered this. So Princess went to Jason about the sex tape that they wanted to do against Moniece because of her whole stunt that she pulled at her listening party. And so Moniece told, not Moniece, but see, all these people, their names for some reason, I know who they are visually, but I keep saying the wrong name, so forgive me. Princess went to Brandy and said that, Jason has this tape of Moniece that would be like the ultimate receipt, against her for what she did. Now, if y'all remember last year when Jason was with that girl who Fizz was dating, I forget her name because she was just there for that one season and for a couple scenes. But her and Jason were friends, and then they had something to say between Fizz and Nikki, and Brandy was there, and so he threw the drink in Jason's face, and they just been, kind of at odds since then. So it's kind of like, okay, I want to get back at this person, but in order for me to get back at this person, I have to be nice to somebody who else who I threw a drink at. So it's like she has to kind of, put on the charm and kind of, do a little something strange for Jason, so he'll give her this tape. So they get the tape. Long story short, they get a preview of the tape. They meet with Jason, Princess, Brandy, and Ray J and Max are there. The girls' men or whatever. So they showcase the tape. And I don't know, based off of their reaction, they mentioned something about, I think it was Princess said she had like a hairy butthole. That's a little TMI for me. I didn't need the mental picture of Moniece in that particular position, but so as they watching it, they all having, doing their whole reaction, and Ray J was like, no, this ain't cool, I ain't really feeling this. And I get it, because he's like, we're about to be married, I don't want this kind of drama to just come up, and everybody keeps mentioning the fact that these kids are going to be able to look this up later in life, because things that get posted on the internet, especially stuff like this, never goes away. All you need is a nice swift Google search, and there it is. So Ray J's not cool. He's saying like, nah, I ain't finna be with this. You shouldn't be with this either. Talking to Princess. And Jason, shady self, gonna say, I don't know why, Ray J is trying to pretend like he has such a problem with this tape. So like, I have 2 words for you. Kim Kardashian. And I was like, ooh, you right. You right, though. But you know what? Because he went through that situation with Kim Kardashian, he's probably not the biggest fan of sex tape, because that sex tape, it didn't hurt Ray J necessarily. It only started hurting him when he came out with that I Hit It First song. That's where he went left. But just in general, I don't think it really hurt him. It didn't really help, but it didn't really hurt. It helped her because of Kris Jenner and her brilliance when it comes to, making lemonade when life hands you lemons. So, but I just thought that was funny, like how he said, I don't know why you have such an issue with the sex tape. Like, one of your claims to fame was a sex tape. But I kind of respected how he was kind of like, no, this is kind of, this is a little bit of a low blow. Like, we shouldn't be doing this. Like, he wasn't really cool with it. I'm like, okay, you know what, Ray J, you get cool points for that. You get some cool points. So then we get to the even more pettier part of the show, where Lyrica's mama tows A1's car. Now, last week, A1, people felt different ways about what he did at that barbecue, offering her a waist trainer. Now, on one hand, it is shady to offer a woman a waist trainer because, it's like Tiara said, it does make her seem like you're saying she's fat. But at the same time, you want me to pay for your liposuction, and I know liposuction is not a cheap thing, and it's not like y'all making hundreds of thousands of dollars like that. You want us to pay for your liposuction just to get your so-called approval for this wedding? Man, please. You just gonna have to sit there and be fat because you ain't gonna take money out of our home for you just so that you won't speak of this again. Like, no, like, that's not how this is about to work. Now, I wouldn't have went as far as to try to bring a waist trainer. Or at least maybe not bringing it with me on display. I would have been like, maybe there's other options, non-surgical options that you could take, as opposed to liposuction, which, each surgery has their, effects. You could have like dry, not dry, but like flabby skin from, since the skin hasn't really like retracted yet, since it wasn't a natural, process. But when she showed up and got his car towed, I'm like, really? So apparently she was nice enough to buy a car. They had a credit issue at the time, and she was nice enough to put the car in her name. So she's getting it towed. Now, my thing is, I have a question because I'm not sure how towing works. Somebody tell, if you get your car towed, doesn't that, and if it's in your name, doesn't that kind of affect your credit or your, reputation, or does it give you a strike on your licenses or something? So if that was in your name, and if you're the one towing it, doesn't that hurt you? Somebody let me know. It might not, but it sounds like it would. And if that's the case, you're stupid. Okay? So, but then what was the crazy part about it is they paid the car. I don't know, did they pay the car off? Or did they just pay the debt that they had? They weren't really clear, but apparently there was a balance that had been paid by A1 on this car. So the fact that she's trying to tow it is just, it's not even like he's missing payments or nothing. She's just being petty. So, of course, here she comes, driving up, saying, oh, well, this is because you did what you did and whatnot. And so the mama was already there. She was out there planting flowers and whatnot. And the mama came up. They was calling each other this, that, and the fourth, the names back and forth. And so A1 got in her Lyrica mama car and drove off. I'm like, wait, how does that work? I mean, I guess she said, don't leave the keys in the car. But the thing is, can she call the police? I think she said she threatened to call the police. But this whole mama thing, it's a very sticky situation because, okay, if I'm with somebody, I'm with my partner, and our moms don't get along with each other, okay, that's one thing. But when you and I start getting into it with each other's mom, there's nothing good can come from that. Because I know me. I know that my mom does things that I don't agree with and does things that can piss me off. But let somebody else that I'm just dating, who I don't really know like that, say something sideways about my mama, it's on. Like, all that respect goes out the window. Like, those are just boundaries that you just don't cross. So I don't feel like, especially if you're already married to the person, and they sit up here talking stuff about your mama, and then your mother-in-law calling your mama bitches and hoes and other things outside her name, oh, there's no more, that whole line of respect that I had for you as my mother-in-law is gone. You just another bitch on the street at this point. Because once you cross that line, that's it. It's hard to come back after that, honestly. So I just don't see how this kind of relationship can mend itself. I don't see, y'all have to come to some kind of common ground, because y'all keep going like this, y'all gonna be duking it out and feuding forever. So, in more mama-related drama, Mama Sonia and this marriage with Princess and Ray J. Now, she just apparently hasn't seen it for Princess since day one. And I understand that her concern is more so like, I don't want you to be involved in a marriage where, because, you know, women out here, they have kids, they lock him down, like, and they have the mindset of, oh, now that he has to take care of the kids and me. And I guess she just sees, I'm not really sure that there's something that Princess did particularly that made her feel this way, or does she just feel this way about women in general? Or is she just that kind of mom that just doesn't feel like anybody is going to treat her son, you know, good enough? But it just, at the same time, you know, you have to let your children, especially when they're grown, and Ray J is a full-bred grown man, so he should be able to make his own decisions. And if you don't, I mean, you can advise him, you can give him your advice, but ultimately, at the end of the day, it's his life, and he should be able to live it the way that he wants to live it. If he makes mistakes, you just have to be there to, you know, help him when he's down, but don't try to interfere and get involved in situations where you really don't belong, because then it kind of creates a rift between you and your son, and I'm sure that's the last thing that you want. However, I guess due to this whole tape thing that Princess has been doing, and then this situation that they had on set, I was confused where Princess was coming from. It felt like she was just in her feelings, period, not necessarily because of that. Because this man is working. He's recording a music video. You know who you're marrying. This person, you know, is around women for, you know, his profession, and he has to shoot, you know, things with women all the time. It's like, why would you deem it as inappropriate when it's a part of his profession? It's like an actor, it's like two actors dating, and they have to do a love scene with somebody for the sake of a movie, and their spouse coming over saying, oh, this is inappropriate. Like, how would you feel if I, you know, went all over and started kissing up on other people? Like, it's part of their job. You know what you signed up for when you started to date this person. So I didn't see why she was saying, oh, it's inappropriate. I feel like you just trying to go back to your old ways. It would be one thing if you just saw him doing like another one of those apartment parties, which was nothing to do with work, as opposed to him in front of these cameras filming this music video. Like, you saying like he's doing something in private. He's literally being filmed for this to show for some music video that's going to flop anyway. But still, just the fact that he's trying to work and you're just trying to say that it's inappropriate doesn't make any sense. It's stupid. So these little things that are kind of going in the back of Ray J's mind, he's just getting really frustrated. And he's like, the wedding is just mere days away. And it's like, you doing all this is kind of, you know, off-putting, sort of. So that's why he's kind of letting like his mom's voice in his head kind of get the better of him. And he's kind of like, he's not really canceling it, but he's kind of looking at him. I keep wanting to call Princess Moniece. He's looking at her a little crazy. So I guess, they already got married, but we just kind of, I guess, see the road to how they got there. And I thought it was really nice a couple episodes ago when he brought her grandma there in the house. She kind of broke down. Like, I can only imagine, like, you want your wedding to be perfect. Like, women grow up with and reimagining how they want their wedding to be almost their whole life. And not having somebody from your family there can kind of, you know, be a detriment. So for her to see somebody that she's close to was really, really nice and a good moment for television amongst all the ratchetry. So where are we, child? Where are we in this? So even though Max was a part of the whole let's get a revenge plot on Moniece with the sex tape thing, he realized that he's really close friends with Fizz, and, you know, yes, the sex tape would affect Moniece, but it would also affect her child, and Fizz, which is people that he's close to, and so he feels like, morals, and so he tells him about the sex tape, and Fizz feels frustrated because he always feels like he has to clean up after Moniece's messes, which is true. So he talks to Moniece. She's out there singing, doing her thing. Moniece is talented, even though she may be crazy and cuckoo as Cocoa Puffs, but she's really, really talented. And she goes on this rant like, oh, I wouldn't stoop that low, and I wouldn't do this and this, that, and the fourth because of child involved. Moniece, I really wouldn't put it past you that if the roles were reversed, and let's say if you were doing something and you found a sex tape on somebody, you would be the first one to try to reveal that stuff too. I don't even believe you feel like, oh, you're above this. Like, this is just such a below the belt. Like, Moniece, I feel like this is right up your alley. It's something that you would do. So I don't want you to pretend like, oh, they're hitting below the belt when this is where you live. Below the belt, this is where you live. So they get to Fizz wants to talk to Jason now because Jason apparently has access to the tape and wants to kind of get more information about it. And he's trying to ask her, or Fizz is trying to ask Jason about, who's in the tape, and he keeps saying like she knows who's in the tape. She knows because she was there. And so Fizz is like, well, let's ask her. Moniece comes and she's basically like, look, I need to know, where can I get this tape? He says, oh, well, I don't have access. I don't own the tape. I just have access to it. He's like, okay, well, who owns the tape? And he kept saying, like, you know who it is. It's the person that was in the tape. And so she keeps trying to be like, okay, well, since you won't give me the name, I'll just have my attorneys look into it and we'll find the name out that way. And I'm like, why are you, like, are you trying not to say it for the sake of the show? Like, are you trying to say it? If you feel like she knows, why don't you just say it? Jason is nothing more than the Carly Red of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Like, just there to stir up something, no real other purpose. And it's just, I wish we had better roles in these television shows. It's like all we do, or all we're showcased to be, is like messy makeup artists, hairstylists. Like, we're not given, or if it is like something above that with some sort of coming out story. Like, I want for someone to just have like a regular storyline and it not be something so just contrived, if that makes sense. But anyways, that was Love and Hip Hop for this week, y'all. We're gonna see how this stuff goes next week. And so, since there's no Bad Girls Club this week or All Stars this week, I guess the only other video this week will be for American Horror Story tomorrow. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington.